Hello friends, welcome back to the channel. Setting up a sidebar navigation is not usually a straightforward process. For a lot of people, this can be a really difficult task, especially if you need it to behave exactly the way you want and if you need it to be responsive and accessible. That is why today I'm very happy to announce the release of my first premium component for Bricks Builder, and that is a sidebar multi-level navigation builder. I have called this a template, but this isn't just a template. This is a real navigation builder. It allows you to build unlimited levels of sidebar slide navigation. I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. So I have a page here, and as you can see, we have a sidebar. So I'm going to go ahead to hit the tab button because I just want to check the accessibility aspect of this, as well as show you how this works. So if I hit the tab, Bricks has a built-in skip to main. So this skip to main is from Bricks and skip to footer is from Bricks. So that is a Bricks feature. But then we go to the header of the sidebar where you have the logo, and then you move into the link. And then after the link, we have the slide button, which if we activate using the enter key is going to slide into the next slide. So that moves us to the next level of, that is the first level of the sidebar navigation. We have a button that can take us home. So if we click that, it takes us back home. And then, so I'm going to click hit on that review. And then we have other navigation items here. I'm going to hit on DC. That takes us to the third level. I'm going to go here, hit DC special. It takes us to the fourth level. I'm going to go in then and hit this. It takes us to the fifth level. Now, while it is not usually advisable, nor a good practice to have a lot of nested levels of navigation, the point here is that this menu gives you the flexibility to have as many as you want if you really need to. I would advise that if you want to have multiple level of navigation, you should limit it to 3 at max. So let's take a look at this. So I have a home button. So if you've gone really deep into the levels and you really want to jump all the way back to home, you could use the home button and it takes you back to home. So down here you have the footer of the menu, not the footer of the side, which has the social icons and the sign up button. Now you could put anything you want here. This menu is very flexible. You have the ability to drop in anything you want here. So I'm just going to demonstrate that. Let's go to home, and then I'm going to go to reviews, DC, this is spatial, and I'm going to go to red carpet. And here you find that we have a fully functional gallery right inside the menu builder. So you see, this is inside the menu. You could drop anything you want inside this menu. It gives you the flexibility that you need. You could put it in a tab, you could put it a query loop, you could do anything. There is no limit, there's no limitation. I'm going to hit the escape key to go all the way back. So as you can see, this works really well. So let's check responsive. So I'm going to check, this is on a mobile, like a tablet, I mean, and I'm just going to go to the smallest screen size, and you can see how it works. It's really flexible. So it still looks good on mobile. So if we have many items, you can see that it slides. You could scroll, I mean. Let's go all the way back. So let's say if I happen to have a lot of items here, let's say if we had this UL multiple, I'm going to duplicate here and duplicate it again. And I'm going to duplicate it 4th time. So let's say we had a lot of them. You can see that you can scroll in and it looks really nice. Even on the desktop, you could scroll if there is a lot of items that overflows. So it's very, very flexible. I'm going to close this and go ahead and refresh the page. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce you to how to set this up in Bricks Builder. Like I said, this is a premium template. I'm going to drop the link in the description for how you can get it. I also want to mention that this supports Bricks left and right header settings. So I'm going to quickly jump into the header settings. So this is a header template, and this is the sidebar menu builder right here. It's just Bricks components, all of them, 100% Bricks components with some codes. And then if we go to the header settings and I change this to right, I'm going to save this. Let's go to the front end and refresh this. You're going to see that this switches here. So it supports Bricks left and right headers, and even on mobile you're going to see that that also comes out from this side. So it is very, very flexible. So I'm going to take this back to the left and save it, and now I'm going to show you how to set this up. Right now I have a dedicated page that I want to demo this. It's just a page called sidebar nav demo page. I want to change this to the sidebar navigation menu. So I'm going to set up a new header and assign it to this page. So I'm going to go to the backend of WordPress under Bricks template. I want to create a new header. So on that template, I'm just going to click add new sidebar header, and the template type is going to be header. I'm going to publish it, and I will edit it with Bricks. So I'm just going to go ahead and edit it with Bricks. The first thing you want to do is to assign your header to a particular page or the entire website. In this case, I'm going to assign it to this page because I want this demo to apply only to this page. Generally, you want to assign your header to everywhere, the entire website. I'm going to go to settings, template settings, header, and then I'm going to go under conditions. I want to add a condition. Now, normally you would choose entire website, but because I want to apply it to one page for demo, I'm going to apply individual, and then I want to type sidebar. So sidebar navigation page, so that it's going to apply to this page. So now that I've applied that, I'm going to save it, but then I want to populate content so I can preview the content. This aspect is not really necessary, but I just want to a single page, and I want it to be that same page. I'm going to apply preview. It's going to save and refresh. This is just to preview the template. Okay, so right now you see the header position is on top by default. So you want to go here to the settings again, the template settings under the header, and you want to set it to left. Let's say you want it to be on the left. So I'm going to save that. So right now we have set it to be on the left or the right. So it has to be either the left or the right because it is a sidebar. So this is designed to fit into Brick's header location. So it's compatible with Brick's header location left or right. So now when you get this template, you're going to receive a JSON file. So I'm going to go over to the JSON file you're going to receive. You're going to receive two JSON files. You're going to have the demo and the template. The demo looks exactly like this. So if you copy the demo, you're going to have a complete demo setup just like this, ready to go. All you need to do is to go in there and set it up. So I'm just going to, first of all, I'm going to put in that demo. So let's go there, and then I'm going to copy the demo template. So now if you receive this JSON file, all you need to do is to drag the JSON file to the browser, and it's going to open it up just like this, and you're going to copy it. I'm going to go to here and just paste, Ctrl V. That's all I need to do. Now when you paste that, you can see that nothing happens because there are specific CSS here that references the post ID of the template that this navigation is supposed to be. Now to find the post ID for that template, just hit the F12, and then you're going to see here post ID 5114. So I'm going to close that. Another way to find the template ID is to check here. You can see a 5114. Another way to check it is if you go to template, you can see the ID here 5114. Okay, so those are the ways you can do it. I'm not actually copying the shortcode. I don't want to copy the shortcode. So you need to go into the CSS. So we have different code blocks here. So the one that is called the slide nav CSS, you want to go in there and go all the way to the bottom, and you will see this under inside bricks: hide header when not in main template and site normal width when not in main template. So you're going to go there and just change this post ID. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 places. But normally what I usually do is, because I don't want to look for it, I just go to a site called replace text online, and I'm just going to click there. What I'm going to do is, just to save me time of having to scroll to look for where it is, I take note that this is 4804. I'm just going to copy everything. Let me just cut it out, and then I'm going to paste here. And then I want to replace, I already typed there. So when you find that you want to replace post ID dash 4804, because 4804 was what was there previously. We want to replace it with post ID. And what was that post ID again? 5114. So I want to replace it by 5114, and then it's going to automatically replace it. Just copy this part and then go back there and just, so if you can do it manually, you see everything appears. If you can replace it manually, fine. There are only 6 instances right here. So there are 2 ways you could replace. You could replace it by using this tool, or you could replace it just by typing it out and then copying, pasting the rest, whichever one is faster for you. And once we do that, you can see everything shows up. And this is designed in such a way that the menu items, the menu panels are lined up in a way that you can see all of them while you're walking, and you can see that the content comes all the way here. Now the width of the menu, we want to control it using the options. The option CSS. If you go to the option CSS, it has style declaration in CSS variables. So what you want to do is to take the side width, the sidebar width. We want to control it from here. So the sidebar width uses a min function that says 300 pixel, but if it is on a smaller device where 300 pixel is smaller than 90% of the width, then we want it to be 90% of the width. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to copy that min function. I'm going to go to the header and template settings, header, then the header width, I'm just going to paste that there. You can see, so it just gives us that header width. So we can control, as a matter of fact, that is wrong. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to say var. Now what was that? The options, CSS, the header width, that's var sidebar width, okay? Because we've already declared it in root. So we want to use the variable. So we don't want to paste the raw value. So we can always control the width from this option. So we're going to go back to that template settings. So instead of writing the raw thing, we just put var. So anytime we change it from the options here, so if I say I put this, let's say make that 500, you see automatically everything scales to 500. It's going to control everything that is relates to this variable. Okay, so now we have that. You can see that if I save this now and then go to that page, sorry, that is not the page, this page, and then we refresh, we have that sidebar there. We no longer have the menu that we had before, and everything works out of the box. Out of the box, you don't need to change anything. So that is when you import the demo JSON and you just want to use that to change whatever you want to change. Now let me go ahead and explain what is in this and how easy it is to set up. Now unfortunately in Bricks we are unable to get the name of the panels because I use some data attribute function in CSS to name these panels. So right at the moment of this recording, Bricks is unable to display that. So hopefully if Bricks fixes that, the names of the panel will show up here, making it easier to work with this, because the names of the panel makes it easy. So this should have been called reviews panel. That is what should have been written here, and this should have been called TV series panel because it's for the TV series. So now I'm going to quickly explain what is going on here. So we have the header inner wrap, which here you can use to control whatever will be on the main, that's the header, especially on mobile, but this is the header of the navigation. And then we have the navigation. Inside the navigation we have different panels. The home panel is a special panel. That home panel will always be there. You should always have the home panel because it is different from the rest of the panels. So even if you want to have just a single slide navigation, no slide, just a single sidebar, the home panel is what you're going to use. But these other ones are what they call the slide panels. Now I'm going to show you when I bring in the real bare bone structure of these. Then inside the home you have the inner wrap, and then you have the panel footer, which is the footer where you have this social icons. But when you go to the other review, you can see that the structure is different. Okay, other panels, I mean, the structure is different from the home. The first thing you see in the home panel is the inner wrap and the panel footer, but for all the rest you have a panel header. That panel header contains the back button or the back to home button, depending on how far in you have gone into the slide. And then the inner wrap contains the navigation, and in there you have the panel title. Let's say we have like reviews here, which is the panel title, and the list, which is the list item. So the list items have two types of list item, a regular link and a slide button. So the regular link is like this, like the about, okay? That is a regular link, but the slide is like the reviews and the TV series. They are the slide button. So if you don't want to slide, you want to just put a link, you just put that link. And if you want to use the slide, you use the slide, the list item that has a button inside it. And then the back button is always inside the panel header, and that back button leads you to the previous panel that it came from. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to delete all of it and bring in the bare bone. All right, so I'm going to delete this and everything is gone. So I'm going to go back and bring in the main template. So if you don't want to be undoing what I've already done, so you're going to drag your template JSON, not demo, the one that doesn't have the name demo, just template. And then you're going to come here and just paste it. Now, once that is pasted, of course, nothing is going to happen. So we go through the same thing. So you have this sidebar nav CSS. Then we just go there and change this all the way down here. So this is where it is. So what was that again? It was 5.1. So I'm just gonna replace it like this. Let's see how this goes. 6 times. Yep. So I've replaced it and everything works. So if I save this and then I'm gonna go to the front end, so you see the basic structure. So this is the bare bone structure of this template. Right now we have just one slide, and it just gives you the basic fundamental building blocks. You have a link, and then you have a slide button, and then you have one panel, one sliding panel. And it also shows that inside the link you can actually add a picture, which is the whole thing is clickable. All right, so now let's say we want to build something. Right now we have just one panel that is called panel title. So I'm just going to rename this to panel 1. Okay, so now we're linking this to panel 1. This slide button links to panel 1. So I'm going to just rename that, go the inside there and rename the text and just write panel 1. Okay, so that links to panel 1. Now, how does this button know where to link to? It knows where to link to when you give it a data attribute. So we're going to select the slide button inside the list item. You see, so you have two list items. Like I said, you have the regular link. Inside it is just a link, and then you have the list item that contains a button. The one that contains a button, you can see the button is called the slide button. That slide button is going to have a data attribute, and that data attribute is going to be the same as the panel that is leading towards data attribute. So this is I'm going to write panel 1, and then the panel here that is leading to, I'm going to also set the attribute to panel 1. Take note, it has to be the same spelling, the same casing. If it is title case, it's going to be the same. So it's always good to copy it and paste. So now if I save this and still go back, let's just refresh this. I think I should just do automatic refresh. Yeah. So you can see that panel 1 leads to panel 1, and this one says back to home. And I also want you to take note that here it says back. It doesn't say back to home. So that means it automatically gets the name of the panel, and then it just links back to it automatically. So let's create another panel and another button and link to it. So I'm going to select this. What you want to do is to select the list item and duplicate it. And this list item, this one is going to lead to panel 2, because we're going to create another panel called panel 2. So I'm just going to call that panel 2. I want to copy that because I want it to have the same title attribute, just for easy reference. And then I'm going to come here. Yeah, it's going to be the button. So be careful to choose the button, right? The button element, the slide button. Then I'm going to come here and just paste here panel 2. Then I'm going to select this panel 1. Like I said, the slide panel is what you want to use for any panel you want to slide in. Don't duplicate the home panel, the slide panel. That's why you have the default is home and slide panel. So I'm going to duplicate the slide panel, and then I'm going to call this next slide panel the title. The title of it is going to be this is the first one, this is the second one. Okay, so bricks, let me refresh so that everything will show up. Things are not showing up, so I've duplicated it. I have my inner wrap, I have the panel title, the list item, the image. Okay, so that's the bricks thing. So I'm just going to save this, but let's go. I'm going to select that second panel. Okay, so let me rename this to slide 1 or panel 1. Okay, so it's finally showed up, and then I'm going to call this panel 2. Okay, so that panel 2 selected. With the panel 2 selected, I'm going to go to the title attribute. Now this already has title attribute that comes with it, so you just change it and paste that panel 2, because remember we gave this panel 2 slide button a title attribute of panel 2. So that is all you need to do, nothing else. So we're going to save this, and then we're going to go to the front end. You can see we have panel 1, but let's see, did we change the name of our panel 2? So we need to change the text here so that we will be able to identify it. So we have this text panel 2. I'm going to save that, come here, and then panel 1, you see, automatically leads to panel 1, and this goes back to home. And panel 2 automatically leads to panel 2, and this goes back to home. What if we wanted to create a third one? Let's say we wanted to drop another slide button here that leads to another panel. All right, let's do that. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to take one of this slide list item and just going to copy it, and then I want to put it in panel 2. So I'll come here to where you have the link and select the list. I want to paste it in the list, so I paste that in the list. So we have a button here. Now this button I want to link it to a panel called 3. So with the button selected, not the list item but the button selected, I'm going to go to the title attribute and change it to 3. I'm going to copy that because I want to create a new panel that I want to link it to. Let's also change the text here. So I'm going to select that basic text, change it to just paste that panel 3. So this is going to lead to panel 3. Now we are creating our panel 3. So let's go to, I'm going to select this, and just, you can select any, you can duplicate any of these slide panels. It doesn't matter the position of the panel. You can duplicate any one of them. What matters is the title attribute. I'm just going to paste the name here. So we have panel 3 here. I've duplicated a panel called panel 3, and on that panel 3, I'm just going to go change this text to panel 3. But then the most important thing is to change its title attribute to panel 3. That's all. Once you do that, you don't have to change any other thing. So I want you to take note of what is going to happen. So we have panel 1 that leads to 1, back to home. Panel 2 leads to 2, back to home. Panel 3 leads to 3. You can see that when you come here, it says back to panel 2. It automatically leads back to panel 2. You didn't need to do anything extra. It detects that this came from panel 2 and it names it according to the name. Now it picks this name from the title attribute. So whatever name the title attribute has is what it's going to link back to. So link back to panel 2, and then this goes back here. So now sometimes personally I would delete the home button from the first level, you know, because it doesn't really make sense. It's only from the second level like this that you want to have the home button, so that, because it's just one slide away from the home, so it doesn't make sense. So if you want to delete that home button from maybe say panel 1, you can always select it. It's a home button. You just come here, panel 1, delete it, not a problem. Panel 2 is also one level away, so I can come here and select it and delete it. I don't need it, so I can save here, and then we go to the front end. Panel 1, no need for home button because it goes directly back to home. Panel 2, no need for home button. But then if you go to panel 3, you have the home button. All right, so this works really well. So how about responsive? Let's look at it. You see, everything works well. Everything looks clean in responsive mode. So no issues at all. Now let's say we want to shift it to this side. So I'm going to go back here, go to Bricks header settings, template settings, header, and just move it to the right. That's all you need to do. And then voila, it comes to the right. No issues at all. Works well. Responsive mode works well too, just on the right. See, of course, you see that went right off. Why? Because I'm going to just hit escape to close and bring that back, because we had that button in panel. This button leads to panel 3, and we duplicated it with that same button, and it's not leading anywhere. That's why it's just going off. Okay, so I'm just going to hit escape. So what I just need to do is to go to that panel 3, because it's not leading this, it's not leading anywhere. So we're just going to go there and remove that list slide button. Okay, the slide button. So I'm just going to remove that because we don't need it there. So everything should work normally now. So I'm going to check that. What am I doing? All right, do that. So yeah, so if you can keep adding more levels as much as you want. Now what if you don't want this to link? What if you don't want this to automatically name, say back to, like this says back to panel 2? What if you want to be the one to decide what to write here? Yes, you can do that. So to do that anyway, let me first of all go and take it back to, I always prefer working on the left side. Okay, all right, so when you change, it's not going to change anything in the builder. The builder just remains the way it is. It still stays here, but on the front end you can see it has changed back to this. But what if you want to change this? You don't want it to be automatic, the naming. You could do that. You could go to the settings, JavaScript settings, JavaScript, come here, and then you could just say update back text. Okay, you will set it to 0. You don't want it to update the back text. If you set that to 0, it's just gonna say back. See, back. Then whatever you write there. So let me see, back to my 3. You see, doesn't make any sense. And then it's just gonna so see, let's place that back to my 3. But I think it makes sense to name this automatically. So I'm going to go back to settings and change that to 1. There are a couple of settings here. When I'm doing the setup video for those who have bought it, I'm going to go in depth into all the settings that are available. So right now, see, we have taken that back to automatic naming. Personally, I leave it at automatic naming because it just makes sense. So what about coloring? What about customization options? Okay, so you have the option CSS here where you can change everything. So let's say I want to give this a color scheme of, let's say, maroon, orange, and gold. You see, that is the color that is just in my head now. So what I'm going to do is, then I also want to point out that your code execution, when you put this CSS in, you have to come into this your code block and turn on code execution and ensure that at the back end of Brick settings that the code execution builder access, under builder access, you enable code execution for whoever is working on it. Is it administrator? That is the only way these codes are going to execute inside here. Alternatively, if you want to copy out the CSS to an external style sheet or external code editor, you can always do that and move them all out. So now I want to change this to a different color scheme. Let me show you something cool. I'm not just going to change it by myself. I'm just going to copy this. Okay. I'm going to copy this and then I'm going to go to ChatGPT. Okay. So I'm going to say that and then I'm going to paste that here. I could do that, but I could just go ahead and change it, but let's experiment something. Okay. So it's just going to replace the colors. Let's see how far I can go. If you want to do that manually, fine. You can do that manually. Okay. So that's all done. I'm just going to copy that. So instead of us going in to be changing that, so yeah, it changed this. Okay. So it gave us a maroon, but that is not what I was gunning for. But let's just go to the front end and see what it's giving. So yeah, it gave a different this thing. So but then my idea was to have a background of maroon, but then let's do something. So I'm just going to go in there. Let's look at the settings here. So the settings here, the first thing is the background. The nav background is white, so I want the background to be maroon. Okay. All right, so my background is maroon. Now I want the CTA buttons background to be orange. Okay, orange red. Okay, so I'm gonna go here under background, CTA background. I want it to be orange red. Okay, all this added by ChatGPT. Now I have that. Now I want my CTA hover background to be orange. So I'm just gonna go there and just write orange, and then it changes it to orange. Now I want my text link. Okay, my link text to all be white. So I'm going to go to color, not background this time, colors, and then I want to link, panel link color. I want it to be white. Yep. Now the hover, I want the panel hover color, panel link hover color. I want it to be gold. All right. So what did I change? Link hover color. Okay, so that is not changing for some reason. I think maybe that's a bug somewhere. I'm gonna fix that. Then let's change the icon, link icon over color to gold also, and you can see that does. And the panel, the icon colors, the panel icon colors, I want it to be gold also. Yeah. So that is it. No, I want it to be white. Okay, and then on hover, I want it to be gold. Yeah. And then the social icons, the social color, I want it to be white. So you have white. Okay. And the social icon color, which is this, is set to take the color of the, of the text. So I'm just going to change that to gold. And then, but the text, when I hover on it, I want it to be gold. Okay. So hover colors, social hover color, gold. So I want the text to be gold, and then social icon hover color should still remain gold. Okay. I don't want it to be that. So we have that and that. So that's the panel title color. I'm going to go to color. Panel title color white. Okay, so we have that. So that basically styles up the things the way we want. Let's say this top the top header here, which is the background, background color of the header. Okay, the top here, I want it to be black. Okay, so I'm gonna save this, and then I'm gonna go to the front end, and we have everything colored perfectly, no issue. So you can see how easy it is to set up these colors. Now you can notice that our focus style is black now on top of maroon, which is not good. So I'm going to go back there, and then I'm going to go to all the way down here to focus styles, and then the outline color, I want it to be white, and my focus width, I want it to be 4 pixels to just make it bigger, just for emphasis. And then if I hit there, you can see that I have that. Of course, if you're using any framework, you can just hook in the color, maybe your action color or whatever in there. Okay, so you can customize this the way you want. So you see that goes here, goes here, goes here. Okay, so that's basically most of the thing. Now if you want to have lines in between, you can come here to borders and just say link on the line. So now the link under color, I want it to be we had this to be the same as the horizontal line that is on top of this footer. So I'm just going to come here and set this to the white will be 255, right? Okay, so we have that is showing up, but then I want it to be like 30% showing up there. Okay, and this one also shows up. So if we come there, that's actually a border setting. So if you come there, you can see that if you want it. Okay, it's not compulsory. Some people like those lines, some people don't like. Now if you don't want, now you could go ahead and change these icons. Okay, so for this one, there's an icon here. I can just go ahead and change it to something different, maybe something like that. Can come here. I change this one to something different, like maybe this. Can come here and change it to something different, maybe like what else is there, like this. It doesn't matter. Save it, you go in there, and then it changes. If you don't want icons, you can just come here. You can just remove the icons. Okay, you can just delete the icon. Delete. Come here. No icon. No problem. Delete. No icon. No problem. Delete. And nothing is going to be broken. Everything still falls into place. Boom, no icon. You see, so you only have icon, the chevron icon, which you should have, that tells you that this leads somewhere. Finally, I'm going to demonstrate that this is also screen reader accessible.
Windows sidebar header template tab. Sidebar header. Skip to footer. Image. List with 3 items. Link. Panel 1. Button collapsed list item. Panel 1 menu. Go back to home menu. List with 1 items list item. Link. Go back to home menu. Panel 2. Panel 2 menu. Go back to home menu. List with 2 items list item. Link. Internal link. Panel 3. Panel 3 menu. Go to home menu. Button. Go back to panel 2 menu.
So you can see that it is also screen reader accessible to a very large extent. So if there's anything that is missing there, it's going to be updated. There's going to be more features coming in the in the updates that is going to be released in the future. But for now, let me know what you think about this. If you want to get this, the link to buy it is in the description. You also have the opportunity for membership all access, okay, to all the components and template that I'm going to be creating. So this is just the first one. I'm working on other ones. So if you want to join the membership, the link is also in the description. The membership allows you to have access. It's a subscription membership, and there is a huge discount for a certain number of people, just 50 people. So if you have access to that membership, you have access to everything that is going to be coming. Right now, there's just one. And for those who are going to jump in trust to get that membership, they're going to get 40% discount. Once that membership is exhausted, it's going to revert to the regular price. But if you want to just get this, there's a link there that you can get this. It is for use on unlimited websites. You can use it on unlimited client website and on your personal website. Future update would include a slide down button. So right now we have just the link and the slide button. Future update, we're going to have a slide down button that if you put here, and you're going to have a content that once you click, it's going to slide down. So depending on what you want to do, this is going to be a complete solution for the sidebar menu. And we're also going to be having a collapsible sidebar menu option in the future. We're going to work on making sure that this is collapsible and it collapses to the side. Once it collapses, you can determine what you want to show and what you don't want to show when it collapses, and what you want to show when it expands. That is in the future update, but in the near future update, we're going to have that slide down button. The whole of this complete template that you have here is also semantically accurate. So you have the header, you have the main, which is your content, and you have the footer, which is here. So everything is semantically accurate. This was built with a lot of thoughts into it. So get it, use it, give me a feedback, let me know what you think about it, and also if you have any feature requests, also let me know about it. Until next time, have a great day. Bye.